It's the NOTORIOUS.
Notorious.
So let's move on to the next question. Oh, okay, so now we coming with smoke. Okay, all right. A woman's vagina is not fine wine. It doesn't age better with time. Where's the urgency of your husband?
Hmm.
I'm gonna just say who want to go first on this one.
Um, I'll take it. So
Okay.
all right. Listen, like pussy is pussy. Some people's actually it depends on who you are on how wet it's gonna
Hmm.
get and how that woman is acting. But I do believe in the culture we do have a lot of sex crazed women and men who really don't take their maturity serious, and therefore they can't take the kids serious. So yeah, it does need to be some urgency. Now people are going to be wild because we're in this social media era where like it's easy access to grab anybody to just have sex with. But yeah, like I think the first step is a lot of women got to just take that urgency a little bit more serious and just kind of calm down on the hip hop culture, urgency of sexual liberation. So that's my point.
But why would we consider an urgency? So, like, why would we consider an urgency of the sexual revolution? Because, like, what's like, for example,
Hmm.
what if you don't want to be married, but you want to just have
Hmm.
healthy connections with people? So then there wouldn't be an urgency to have a husband.
Yeah, no, I mean you're exactly right because women like to have sex just like men do, but
Hmm.
the number one thing that biologically messes that all up is that women actually want to have kids regardless of whether they married or not. I've seen a lot of women like they even fell down on themselves because they didn't have a kid. Not that they didn't have a husband, because they didn't have a kid, regardless of the situation. So when you have that mindset and then you like, "Well, damn, I need to have a kid, I need to have a kid. You also need to have a foundation for that kid. So this is where that mindset meets trouble because yo, you cannot be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You have like it takes a village, but the structure gotta be there. We can't just rely on the government with that type of thinking of wanting to be a mother with no foundation. That's dangerous, so
So I'm gonna disagree with you on that, and here's why.
mhm.
Because I mean, the statement where it's like, well, there may be women that don't want to have a husband, but they want to have kids.
Okay.
I would consider myself the exception to the rule because I don't want to have children. I
Oh,
consider myself wanting to have a connection. So I think this is kind of for me. It's kind of a not want to say a loaded question, but it's a little bit off because it doesn't apply to every woman. It kind of actually pigeonholes us a little bit because I
wait,
don't think that there's a I don't like I said before I think I do get fine. I do get better with age. I mean, it has aged like wine because I may not be able to do monkey flips left and right and forwards and backwards anymore because of my knees and how they set up. But
mhm.
I think what that means is experience. Being more in tune with myself and being able to be in tune with my partner. There is no urgency for no husband.
Well,
I'm just living my best life right now.
what do you mean connection? Like you said, you don't want to be married, you don't want to have kids, but you just want a connection.
I just want to, because right now, and it's going to sound very new age, I guess I'm in this space right now where a relationship is not one of my priorities, right? So for me, I'm not saying that I don't want to have interactions with a male at all. I
Mhm.
mean, I just might want to have a companion. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to have a full-fledged relationship. That could just be my partner, my boo, that we connect when we have time, but it may or may not have to lead to anything. That's just where I am. I can't say that for a lot of women my age,
Mhm.
but I can definitely say that for me. So that's why I say that statement is not going to be applicable in all things, especially if you are dealing with women and you're dealing with women who sincerely don't want to have kids, and I
Yeah.
sincerely don't want to have children.
Yeah, if you don't want to have kids, you can let. Matter of fact, if you want to go out here and fuck everything walking, do your
I
thing.
ain't say all that now.
Yeah, but if you do it, because you what's gonna happen, you're gonna end up having multiple connections talking about what you're talking about. You
Not
really gonna.
necessarily.
So you think so? You just going. You gonna want. You don't want no man, but you want one connection.
No, I'm not saying I'm trying to pop that thing. I ain't trying to bust it wide open. I'm
But
just
you
saying,
going to
like,
though.
no, I didn't say that either. I just said I'm looking for a connection. I ain't say multiple connections, nor did I say I want to be out here popping that thing like like a bag of popcorn
But what's
either.
wrong with multiple connections?
I didn't say there was nothing wrong, but that's just not what I'm looking for, beloved.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to see where you at.
Yeah. I didn't mean to get us off track. But
No.
I want to ask the rest of the panel, Legion, what are your thoughts?
Um, I have to agree with you in the fact that this statement doesn't apply to everyone, but for those that it applies to, I think it does age. It doesn't age like fine wine. It's not fine wine. And so, and the answer is in the statement. That's why the urgency of finding a husband is there. If not, look at Jada Pinkett. She got her lady downstairs all tightened up for Will Smith. Why would she do that if she didn't want to? She needed to keep a man like Will Smith, so she had to do what she had to do.
That's
There
true.
goes your answer.
Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think she answered it perfectly, and also did not know that Jada did that. Didn't know that you could do that actually at all.
You can do hold on, you can do everything in South Florida. So.
I'm learning. I'm learning. Like I said, I'm only 22. Got years and years to learn. But yeah, like you said, it's a loaded question for sure. I think it just definitely depends on the woman. Like I said, I'm only 22, but I don't want kids either. So like it wouldn't be an urgency for me to like find a husband or anything like that, because that's just not what I'm looking for. Or maybe I do want a husband and I just don't want to have any kids. So I just think it just depends on the person. Like if that is your goal to have kids, then obviously there's other options than just getting a husband. But I also think that if you want the whole 9 yards, then there is some type of urgency. You know, you do get a little older, and then there's the whole biological factor of if you're a certain age, then your children could be born with a disability, et cetera, et cetera. So I just think it's a subjective.
If you enjoyed this video, click here for more content. Make sure you're subscribed and click the bell.